This video I want to talk about how to find the area of a triangle. So guys, in geometry you already have learned how to find the area of a triangle, but given two things guys, given the base and the height. So there's going to be a lot of examples where the height is not provided to us. So in that case one cannot just use the formula that we have learned in the geometry. One has to develop new formulas. So guys, let us start with the formula that we know, and from that formula, using that particular formula and using the trig ratios, we can actually create, or we can derive a new formula which would be helpful when either the sides are given, the lengths of the sides are provided, or the angles are provided and the height is not provided to us. Okay, so let me start with a triangle. So for example, I have a triangle ABC. Let's say this is my triangle ABC, and let us say the height is h. So I'm starting with a triangle where I know the height, and from there I'm going to create, or I'm going to derive a formula which excludes the h variable, the height. Okay, so once we start looking at examples where the height is not provided, we would still be able to find the area without using the height. Okay, so guys, if we just look at this triangle, we know that this angle is this is right angle, right? That's the perpendicular from B onto the side AC. So for this triangle, if I have to find the area, or if I have to write the formula for the area, we know it's 1/2 of base times height. So the base here is B and the height is h. So basically it is going to be 1/2 of B times h. So keep in mind, this is side A, this is lowercase side C. This is angle A, angle B, and angle C, right? So guys, this is the formula that we already know how to find the area of a triangle. Now let's say we don't have the height, then what are we going to do? So let us look at this particular triangle. Now guys, here if I look at this right triangle here, and let me call this D. So in the right triangle ADB, what can we say about the sine of A? So sine of A we know is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is H and hypotenuse is C. Guys, we kind of use the similar type of a technique when we derive the sine law. Okay, so it's basically similar to deriving a sine law. So from here, if I cross multiply, and what do I get? I get h times 1, which is h equals to c times sine of A. So just by using the definition, or just by using the sine ratio for this right triangle, I was able to solve for h in terms of the side length and the sine of the angle. So what we are going to do here is we're going to go back to the formula that we already know, and we are going to, instead of writing b times h, we're going to say 1/2 of b, which is the length of this side B, times h. H we're going to replace by c, and then c would be replaced by c sine A. So this becomes the new formula to find the area of any given triangle. So, but what are the three things that we need for this formula to work? Guys, we need the lengths of the two sides, and then the sine of, and then the angle, the adjacent angle or included angle. So look at this particular triangle. We need to know the length for this side B, we need to know the length for this side C, and then the included angle, right? So if we have these three things, guys, we can find the area of the triangle even if we don't have, or we don't know the height of the triangle. Okay, so it is just a very simple formula, but it's a slightly different way of expressing the area when the height is not provided. Similarly, guys, now this is not the only formula to find or evaluate the area of a given triangle. Now, if I look at this right triangle on the right hand side, because when I drop this perpendicular, it divides the triangle into two right triangles. Now, if I look at this right triangle, guys, in this right triangle, if I write the ratio for sine of C, isn't it going to be the opposite over adjacent, opposite over hypotenuse again, which is h over A, and if I cross multiply, I get h equals to A times sine of C. So we can also replace this h with A sine of C. So if we do that, what do I get? I get another formula which looks like this: 1/2 of B times A times sine of C. Guys, this formula may look slightly different than this, but the basic idea of the formula, or the basic structure of the formula is the same. It is the 1/2 of the product of two sides. So here in this case, it's still B and A times the sine of the included angle. In this case, it was also an included angle between these two sides. Here, the sides are, one of the sides is the same, the other one is a different side, but angle is still an included angle. So this is a valid formula. If we have B, C, and A provided, then we're going to use this one. If we have B, A, and angle C provided, then one is going to use this one. Similarly, guys, there is a third one, and the third one looks like this: one half, and it is A times C times the included angle sine B. So A times C times sine of B. Now you cannot derive this formula just by these two triangles. If you have to derive this formula, then one has to actually drop a perpendicular from here onto this side, and from there you can think of that as a height, right? And from there you can actually derive this formula. So basically, guys, there is 3 different ways of finding or writing the area of a triangle. And let me write all of them here, and then in my next video I'm going to use these formulas to find the area of a given triangle. Guys, it is pretty basic or pretty simple concept. 1/2 of B times C times sine of A, and it's not too difficult to even remember because it is just product of, we already know the area of the triangle. We remember the area of a triangle, base times height, 1/2 of base times height. So here 1/2 stays, it is just the product of the two sides, any two sides, and the sine of an included angle. So same thing, this is same as 1/2 of A times B times, then would be sine of C, and this guy is still equal to or same as 1/2 of A times, we got A and B, we got B and C, we didn't get A and C. So A times C times sine of B. So it depends on what is provided to us. Based on that, we pick the right formula and we evaluate or we find the area of a triangle. So guys, this is how we derive or we find the formula for the area of a triangle in terms of the product of the two sides and the included angle. Okay, and in my next video I'm going to show you some examples using this. Till then, guys, take care. See you next time.